Hey, I know it's been a minute since I got on this, but I had something transpire that inspired me to make a little video talking about why I say whatever the fuck I want around whomever I want, regardless of whether other people think it's okay to do so. And that includes saying politically incorrect things. It includes me telling the truth and being transparent, and me being vulgar, and it also it involves me saying things that can be at the expense of people's feelings, but only if those people are codependent. So which leads into my first point, is that I'm not codependent. One of the reasons why I say whatever the fuck I want to is because I'm not codependent. Well, what does that mean? I think this is the simplest way to define codependency, is to make a choice that is at one's own expense. And I think that's as simple as it gets. So I'm not codependent. Well, how does that relate to saying stuff that could be upsetting to somebody else? I am responsible for my own emotional well-being. I do not expect anyone else to accommodate me. I do not place blame for my feelings on the actions of other people. I solely am I responsible for my own emotional well-being. If something happens that I don't like, then I need to take a look at what my part was. And what I mean by my part is what were my choices in participating. And if I didn't have any part, then I need to take a look at why I'm upset. You know, what part of me needs to be addressed so that I can have a more reasonable emotional response and perspective on the world. Now, sometimes things happen that are upsetting. I didn't have any part, and I'm right, and I am right to be upset. As long as I fully process whatever that is, then I can move on. But if it's something that comes up and up over and over again, that's a resentment, and that's that's a completely different kind of can of worms. But so one, I'm not codependent. Two, second point is because people will bring up, well, wouldn't you want someone else to, wouldn't you want someone else to wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want someone else to treat you that way or whatever? Wouldn't you want someone else to be thoughtful or considerate of your feelings? And I'm like, that'd be nice, but I live in reality, and I don't expect anything from anyone else that is incapable or not willing to reciprocate or return the favor. So I'm not going to expect anything out of somebody, especially if I know that they're not going to return the favor. And without the knowledge and the emotional maturity and the capacity to be able to function and be responsible for one's emotional health and one's own emotional well-being through the choices, belief systems, perceptions, behavior, then what that person does is they blame their own feelings on the world around them. So they're always expecting to be accommodated, not willing to return the favor, not capable of returning the favor, and not even understanding that they're participating in their own fucking bullshit. And they think everyone's an asshole, everyone's a dick to me, I'm being oppressed. Meanwhile, while they're going through life, fucking being an asshole to everyone else, and expecting that they either kiss their ass or fucking or bend over backwards for them. All the while they think they're the victim. Oh, everyone's so mean to me. It's like, you're a fucking asshole. That's why everyone's mean to you, you fucking piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Fucking irritating. Okay, so those are the two main points. I'm not codependent. I'm I don't expect unreasonable and unhealthy people to be able to be capable of accommodating me. And thirdly, I don't give a fuck. I do not fucking care. I do not care. I will not and do not give a shit about the thoughts or feelings about somebody who's so selfish they don't even know that they're selfish. Someone who's so unhealthy and so unreasonable that they steamroll through life and are completely oblivious to how emotionally and mentally and spiritually ill they are. Fuck them. I do not fucking care. And that is a byproduct of having a string of bad relationships. That'll do it. I do not have any empathy, and the rest of that is also, it was just beaten out of me as a kid. I do not care. I don't have the space or foolish, naive compassion in my heart to worry about the feelings of someone else. I just don't give a shit. And it's also healthy to like not be completely, I mean, like, I care about people as people, but if they're not willing to be if they're not willing to work on themselves, if they're not willing to be a human being, then I just don't have time for that. This is another point. It's not my responsibility. It is not my responsibility. Someone else's emotional well-being, not my responsibility. Someone else's health, not my responsibility. Guess whose it is? It's theirs. It's not mine. I'm responsible for my own life, and I got enough on my plate. If you don't like it, eat a fucking dick. I'm not here to fucking accommodate you. I am not here, like, I'm busy dealing with my own shit, and if you were dealing with your own shit too, you wouldn't fucking be worried about what I'm saying or not saying. I don't fucking get, like you're gonna get that fucking bent out of shape over something I've said? Like I go live in a bubble. I don't have there's more important things to be upset about. I don't newsflash. There's going to be a lot of people that say and do things that are going to be really upsetting. And unless what somebody's doing is it directly impacting my life, it's not in my lane, and I need to mind my own business. I think a lot of the time, part of codependency is thinking that one has to, like, it's that person's responsibility to try to fix other people's problems or situations, or that they have a right or an obligation. An even more asinine idea in of itself, this selfish idea of that it's my responsibility to fucking to intervene or to step in the way or whatever, and it's like that couldn't be more fucking selfish. How selfish is that? Someone who's completely incapable of being healthy, asserting their will in a situation that's none of their fucking business in the first place, to try to fix and make right something that they're completely incapable of knowing what the emotionally healthy and right and just thing to do would be in the fucking first place. And so the whole thing is fucking messy. immature, naive, juvenile, adolescent perspective on the world, and a lot of that shit is encouraged and perpetuated through you know, the media and entertainment and the youth culture of you know, Western and particularly American society, and it's just bullshit. It's bullshit that people co-sign, and it's not healthy. And that's why healthy people don't even engage. They don't even say anything, 'cause it's like, well, you have your own path, and you'll learn it in your own time. You know, they know that it's not their responsibility, and they can't even if I were to present to somebody the healthy solution, a healthy alternative, they're not going to want to take it unless they're ready to do that. And if it's unsolicited, then it'll always blow up in your face 100% of the time, because they're incapable of perceiving what a healthy thing is. They will misperceive it as whatever. They'll project their own bullshit onto it and perceive it to be whatever it is. An unhealthy person will always perceive a healthy thing in an unhealthy way. They will always perceive a healthy thing as something that's unhealthy, because they are incapable of not living in a black or white reality. No subtle nuances, whatever. It's either my way and on my team, or you're the enemy and you're, you know, literally Hitler or whatever. You know, people are just fucking nuts, and it's mental illness. The mental illness lies in how in our emotional response to a situation, and if it's visceral, it's oftentimes just mental illness. It cloaked under the veil of whatever your story is, whatever our story is attached to the situation, and none of it's real. That's all horseshit. None of it's fucking real whatsoever. So, those are some of my thoughts and reasons why I say whatever I want, and I don't really care if you like it or not. Oh, and this is a good thing. So me saying, this is one last point, and I'll close this video out, is by me saying whatever I want, whenever I want, to whomever I want, it filters out people that ultimately aren't going to be good for me, and aren't my people. They aren't my tribe. It allows the universe to cut the fat out of my life, and it brings people into my life that are a better fit for me. And it's being honest. It's being emotionally honest with who I am and who I'm not, and it's also brave, because it takes some guts to fucking, especially if you grew up with a lot of trauma, it takes guts to be honest, knowing that it's controversial, knowing that it's confrontational. It takes guts to not worry and not care about what other people feel and think, you know, like worrying if someone else is going to get offended. It's like, it's codependent to worry about what someone else feels. It doesn't fucking matter. It is not your responsibility. It is not your job to fucking fix how other fucking people feel. It's theirs. And if they think it's yours, they're fucking codependent. They're fucked up. Get them out of your fucking life. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your fucking wife. I don't care if it's your fucking mom or your dad. Get them out of your fucking life. It's bullshit. It's a lie. And it ties into so many other lies that were sold that aren't healthy. Healthy people don't look at the world that way. Healthy people know and demonstrate through their actions, through their behavior, not just what they say, but how they say it, that they are responsible for themselves. And we are responsible for seeking out solutions in our lives. If we grow up thinking that the world has to accommodate us, then we grow up in this delusional fantasy land, always thinking that something else is going to fix us, that something else will save us, that something else is going to make it all better, that if we could only arrange the rest of the world in a certain way, we could be okay. And that is so fucking sick. It's not just naive and immature and juvenile and emotionally immature. It is fucking sick. It is mental illness, and it's a common thread of a lot of society. It's a lot of people's problems, and it manifests in all sorts of ways that can be seen. I mean, it's just shot through most of people's existence, and they're completely fucking blind to it. So those are my thoughts. I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever the fuck I want, and fucking, if you don't like it, eat a dick.